Hey, Denise.
Hi, Greg. Welcome home.
Thank
Uh,
you. Thank
okay, it's probably the stress has gotten pretty bad for me. Mostly I'm getting gaps. I'll get totally blanks, which isn't really common for me.
Okay.
That's why like taking a new class, I wouldn't be able to really absorb the material right now. I'm,
Like you just feel like you check out a little bit.
I don't know where I went. I went to reach for like persimmon, the color. It's one of my favorite colors. I could not remember persimmon. The only thing that came was pomegranate, pomegranate over and over. And but mostly gaps where it'll just be gone. And I think it is just it's accumulated stress and I'm not sleeping very well. So I was just hoping you could make a few recommendations. I was able to write down some things that were helping everyone else. But
Let's do a couple of things. You have ginger lily.
I do have ginger lily.
So there's the pattern of the back heart, the navel, and the crown.
I'll write it out for you.
Yeah, back heart, navel, and crown. Samantha's going to write it up for you.
Thank you so much, Samantha. I
And
appreciate it.
then either apply vetiver to the arms and legs or inhale vetiver into the arms and legs.
Okay. Um,
And let me just see one more thing. And do you have galbanum?
I do. Yes.
Let's have you take a couple of drops, 2, 3 drops of galbanum twice a day.
Oh, I like that. I've never tried it internal. 2 to 3
Yeah. And the idea, like when like you said, like you feel like you kind of check out or you lose a little bit of time or have a hard time recalling things. All of these are going to help you be like more present and not have that like taking off, thing that happens.
Well, in other ways, it's kind of surprising. I had to really deal with some things with my son today, and I really stayed calm. And even when people were really pretty upset, I stayed pretty calm and clear. And I said, "Can you explain to me what happened so I can make some decisions on him?" So
Mhm.
I that part, I know part of the work we do is really helping, right? But the sleeping part, I think, is him because he's been out on the streets, all right.
Sure.
And he's so out there that he won't accept help from anyone. So he's pretty gray and really drawn when I saw him today. Um, and I think, just as a mom, I pick up that stuff with him. And
Sure.
and I think that stress level, where I'm not even sure sometimes if it's me or him or what's going on, that it's just ramped up because it's been a couple years of this stuff. That's where the gaps, but that's new. The gaps are new, which is, it's a bit disconcerting. I'd rather not have them. And
Yeah.
then I wanted to ask
And,
one other. Oh,
and like you bring up a good point. Like you're dealing with something difficult in a situation, you have to have interaction with, maybe a professional that's in that situation, or you're just dealing with some sort of crisis. So there's an area where people would check out, but sometimes we're able to step up and handle the situation. And then after the situation goes away, sometimes that's also where we would like kind of, check out a little bit, like after everything's done on the other side of it. And so it sounds like that's a little bit more of what's happening. And so I think those things right there should be very helpful.
that would make sense because you're right. I do often crash after some
Yeah.
big things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a perfect way of saying it. Like you,
Yeah.
you handle the intensity, and then afterwards you're like, okay, everything's done. Ugh. And then there's the crash.
Yes.
The other thing, like you're going through and you're treating these things, and if you needed, like those are helping, but it's still not quite completely it. Um, you would have a couple of choices. One might be a little bit of cinnamon internally
Okay.
because that will stimulate body's processes. But I suspect that do you have like arnica or arnica complex from any of the classes?
I do have the arnica. I'm not sure about arnica complex, but I might have
Doesn't
both,
matter.
but
Like
definitely arnica.
yeah, so you have the arnica. So the arnica is, you know, the reason to use cinnamon is it acts as like a stimulant to the body's processes, and it just makes everything work better, you know. Arnica does that, but a little bit more. It does it for the body, but it also does it for like the emotions and the mind.
Oh,
You know, so things that are traumatic, things that are stressful, things that make you uneasy or agitated, arnica is probably even a little bit better choice. And you just inhale it, you know, don't take it internal, just inhale it. Um, so you might expect, like I do those other things first. And
okay.
then if things still are feeling like, yeah, I'm feeling better, but it's still not quite there, experiment with cinnamon and then experiment with arnica, see which one works for you the best, or even if both of them.
That sounds great. That's thank you for the plan. That's what I was
Yeah.
needing was a good
Yeah.
plan. And then one other time you told me when I was doing beginning physical therapy, you told me there was a oil that would deepen it, or massage too, anything on massage and I don't remember what that oil
What
was.
was it for?
Like if I was doing physical therapy, you said it sort of deepens the work. It was
Oh, it's probably chakra root cleanser.
I think you're right. I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what it was.
It
Yes.
increases range of motion, gets everything moving, it opens up the channels.
Oh, thank you. That's great. And then just one last thing. This is for my nephew, the one that
Mhm.
has kind of the more limited breathing and stuff. He's
Okay.
had like long COVID and
Okay.
mostly brain fog. So
Okay.
I have the respiratory blend to send him, and I also have now the angelic support that you suggested he could inhale.
Okay.
Is there one for that kind of brain fog he's having? Or maybe some of that will be cleared, with what we're
Yeah,
sending.
I would try with what we have in motion.
Okay.
Brain fog can be agitation, but a lot of times it's an imbalance in the nervous system and then poor lymphatic function. And so the things that we kind of put in motion should help to balance things out. And so let's see where it's at. I mean, the other thing that can happen with brain fog is the brain's not detoxifying. There could be hormonal issues, and there could be like an accumulation, like blockages in the kidneys, basically, like an accumulation of energy in the kidneys. And so I would treat the things that we've talked about first before we start going down the rabbit hole of the other things, just to see like if it resolves, how much it resolves, and then we can kind of fine tune the plan because each one is like a kind of a different pathway. And
Okay.
we'll get a gauge of how he's doing after that, and then kind of fine tune it after that.
That sounds great. Well, I think we're hitting it. The time's really good. He said, some of it is getting better, Denise, as I try to take a little more care of myself, which he wasn't taking at all care of himself. So he's trying to be a little more conscious and moving that way. So then the oils are coming in. And then I think he's sensitive enough that we'll know from there. So thank you so much,
You're
Greg. I
so welcome.
appreciate it.
Keep us posted.
Oh, I will. Thank you.